Hello everyone and welcome to a new video of our Path Threat Defense series. In this video, we are going to talk about QoS policy on FTD firewall. Okay, so QoS stands for quality of service, which you guys already know. Now let's see how to use this feature to limit the download and uploads to certain destinations from the LAN subnet in here. So I have prepared a diagram in order to discuss about it from the FTD firewall perspective. So here's the diagram. As you guys can see, this is our Cisco FTD firewall. This is our client, and here is the internet on the left-hand side. So my client initiates a connection out to the internet. Okay, so source becomes my client, and destination is the server on the internet. And in between, there is my Cisco FTD firewall. So if my client is uploading a file to the server over the internet, then the direction of upload will be data will be going from client to the server in the internet. Okay, so the flow will be this: client, firewall, internet for the data flow. Okay, and if my client is downloading a huge file from the internet or maybe any data from the internet, then the flow of that would be internet will be sending the file to the client, but still in both the cases my client is the one who initiated the connection. Okay, so now let's see where should we limit this. Okay, where should we really apply the limits on what interface for download and upload. Okay, so if you look at this diagram, the upload the file will be coming on FTD's inside interface and then going out from the outside interface. Okay, so ideally it is wise to put this limit on the inside interface of the firewall. Okay, upload limit to be put on the inside interface of the firewall. You can also limit on the outside interface of the firewall, but in that case it will be a outbound traffic policing kind of stuff in there. Okay, but applying it here will have a, I would say, kind of, it might have undesired effects. Like suppose you put a limit. Okay, say you say, okay, XYZ site on internet, I'm limiting upload to maybe 200 Mbps. You cannot go beyond that. So it will happen if you apply it on this interface, then this client, whenever will be going, will be limited. Okay, but if you applied it on the outside interface and you have other interfaces connected to DMZ servers or maybe anywhere, and if they will also be uploading the data to that is specific destination, then they will also be limited in terms of the upload. And that's what you might not want. Okay, in the business servers, might servers are not really like the end stations. End stations are just users who can very much do the repetitive job if required. But on servers, if a job fails, someone needs to monitor it, or the program should be enough, I would say, enough capable to do the upload again. Okay, but that will be a cumbersome task because users don't log into servers any day, sorry, every day. These are like admins log into them for some maintenance work or maybe some upgrade, or doing some stuff to adjust the settings, etc. And in terms of download, the data is coming from the internet and going to the client. So I would recommend this download to be limited on the inside interface again. When it goes out on the inside interface, the thing why I'm saying it on the inside interface is because suppose you from XYZ site you're downloading a 100 MB file. Okay, the file will be going from internet to the client. Okay, but if there is a server here and it also needs that data, maybe quickly the application on the server needs to consume that data so it can provide services to the users. If you put this limit on the outside interface, then then that download will also be limited for our server. I know you can create the granular rules in order to define what should be limited, but it's wise to limit the things on this inside interface. Okay. Otherwise, if you do if you suppose, or maybe you can limit it on the outside interface, that would also be fine, because if you limit it on the inside interface, then firewall needs to perform policing here on the inside interface, and the data will be coming at a different rate on the outside interface and going out from a different rate. Okay, so I believe it's your choice But I would recommend this upload and download to be tackled at the inside interface so you do not get any undesired effect on any other subnets or any other networks which are connected to the FTD. Okay, only apply it to the interface where you really need it. Okay, that's where I'm coming from. Okay, but FTD can polish on both the interfaces, polish basically the QoS stuff outside as well as inside. So now we are good to jump on the QoS stuff on the FMC. So let's jump on to the FMC. So this is our FMC here. In order to create the QoS power policy, you have to go to device, then the QoS. Okay. So in order to create a QoS policy, click new policy, give it a name. Let's give it a name QoS policy, and I'm gonna apply it to FTD. So the thing is, the first thing, I also want to mention a few more things. One device can only have one QoS policy. Other than that, the QoS policy only applies to the routed mode interfaces. Okay. Now, basically routed interfaces. Now I've clicked on the save. We are gonna save the policy. Let's give it some time. Okay, the policy is now created and I am in the policy, basically inside the policy. Now, I want to create a rule where I want to limit the download speed from a specific website to, I would say, um, to something. I'm thinking of what we can, what we can leverage here. So I just thought let's to do a demo of QoS policy. Let's use this website, azurespeed.com. You know this website, you can download 100 MB file, and I really want to show you how to limit the download. So I got to see the URL of this 100 MB file, and the host part of it is this. Okay, so I'll create a URL object, and then I'll limit the download speed at, I would say, 50 kbps for this specific for this specific, I would say, URL. Okay, now I would just take this URL and let's just create a rule. Okay, I'm saying the rule is limit as your speed download. Limit as your speed download. Let's give it the rule. Mm, okay. So what interfaces you would like to apply this to? The interfaces which are in the source interface object part or in the destination interface object part. So now, if you look at this is why is this red rule name? Okay, 20 or yeah, fine. I think it should be fine now. Okay, perfect. So as we saw in the diagram, I want to limit the download on the inside interface. Okay, and inside is my source. Okay, so I'll say source interface object. You can select destination as per your need. Then I say, okay, source, I'll add the inside. Okay, and when the traffic is going to inside to outside. Okay, under the network, I say my traffic will be coming from 10002 is my source. Destination could be, I want to give it a URL. I'll say any network, but then my application should be, come on, load it. I'm just waiting for it to come. Ah, okay, finally. Well, see, if my application is HTTP or my application is HTTP2 or my application is HTTPS. Where's HTTPS? Yeah, here it is. Okay. And then any ports, and then in terms of URLs, let's create a URL object. I believe it's not already there. Okay. Get new URL object. I would say, uh, just let me put the URL first. Okay. Uh, Southwest India. I'll name it like that. Southwest India. I missed an I. I'll give it now. Okay. So that's it. Here it is. No right. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Now it's saving that object, and after once it has been saved, I'll add it here. Okay, Southwest India, add to rule. Okay. Or I would have shown you entering the U. Okay, that's fine. We have created the object. No, no SGT or ICE attributes I want. Any comments you want to add, you can add in here. Now let's talk about this. Down. Do you want to limit download or upload? I want to limit the download to what megabits per second. The value here is in megabits per second. And if I want to save 200 Mbps, so I'll enter 200. But I want to limit it to 50 kbps, and 50 kbps will be represented as 0.05. Okay, or let's do 100 kbps. That will be zero point 0.1 of mbps. And upload, I'm not going to say there is no limit to upload, but you can download only 100 kbps from this specific URL. Okay, that's it. Okay, and I'm going to save it. I'm not going to deploy the policy. Okay, so our rule is now created. You see, inside to outside, it's based on the source interface, which is the inside interface. Source interface is determined based on who's the initiator of the connection. Okay, source network application going anywhere, US, sorry, Southwest India, 100 kbps, which is basically zero point 0.1 mbps per second. Now we are okay in this video. Further, we'll see in the next video where we'll first determine how the speed we are getting before pushing the policy. Okay. And then we will say what's the speed we are getting after pushing the policy. Well, let's do one thing. Let me push the policy. Okay, one second. Okay, so now my speed shouldn't go beyond 100 kbps for this specific URL. So I'll pause the video while the push is deployment is happening. I keep on saying push. I don't know why. Okay, I don't use commit, but the policy push term really comes from the checkpoint terminology. Or there it's also install the policy. Okay, so yeah, I'll just pause the video while this deployment happens, and then we'll reshare. So guys, deployment is now complete, and you can see on my screen I have my Linux machine up and running, and I have opened this website twice. At one place I have selected region as West India, where we have that 100 kbps limit, and I have opened another one where I have selected South India, where we do not have a limit. Let's see the difference in the downloads. So let's first download this South India and see what is the speed we are reaching to. I see here, I can clearly see it's going to 1 Mbps, 900. You can see 800 kbps. It's going beyond 800 kbps. Let's cancel this. Now we know it works fine. Now let's see how does it go when you have this, really, this one, West India. I have clicked on the link, I believe. Come on, not yet started. I'll try to click again. Ah, now it got clicked. Okay, so let's go there. You see, it's 14 kbps, 14.2 kbps, 14. So it's way beyond the speed I'm getting from the South India. And I think there are more components which might be coming from that website. Maybe I don't know what, but the speed is clearly, you can say, the speed for that URL, everything coming for that URL is limited to 100 kbps. And you see, I'm not going beyond even 13, 14 kbps. Okay, while I configured 100 kbps, so we are way under the 100 kbps. So that's how you can utilize QoS on FTD, okay, to control and to make sure that your business runs properly and users don't keep on buffering on YouTube and I would say that website Netflix. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys, and I hope you learned something today and you'll utilize in your day-to-day life with your work. So have a good day and happy learning.